Hi, I'm Mr. Barnett, and over the next set of lessons I'm going to be explaining how to design your own vector-based graphics. When we design graphics on a computer, we've got a choice between raster and vector-based graphics. Let's have a look at the difference between both of them. So I've got open here Inkscape, I've also got open Paint too. I'm going to draw exactly the same thing, one using raster based graphics and the other one using vector based graphics. Selecting the arc tool in Inkscape, and I've drawn a nice round circle. Let's go over to Paint and do exactly the same thing again. Again, drawing a nice round circle. Doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same. What's different is the next part. If we zoom in on the raster based graphics, you'll see that the image starts to look pixelated, and that's because this image is made up of lots of individual pixels that are either, in this example, black or white. If we zoom in on exactly the same image, or exactly the same circle I should say, you'll see that we don't have any pixelization. And the reason for this is because the vector-based graphics use maths to work out the curves. Alright, so the logical next step of that would be to say, well, hang on, Mr. Barnett, if vector graphics are always better and everything's smoother, why don't we use those all the time instead of raster-based graphics? And the truth is that they're not always better. When you use raster-based graphics, you've got more control over things such as the amount of color in each pixel. Your Xbox, your PlayStation have all been designed with raster graphics in mind. The main downfall of raster graphics is that when you resize anything from its original size to either smaller or bigger, you get downgraded quality. So from this point on, there will be a lot of information flying your way, so feel free to stop, pause the video, watch parts again that you don't get. That's all part of the learning process. I've installed already on my computer a program called Inkscape. You can get that for free on a web browser. I'm just visiting Inkscape and downloading the most recent version. For me, it's version 1.32. Once you've got it and you've installed it, double click and wait. Don't continue double clicking, it will eventually come up. You've then got some options here, different tabs. We can ignore the quick setup. I like to have it set as colourful. Everything else should be on default. Flip between dark and light if you want. I prefer dark. Once you're ready, we're going to go to time to draw, and we just want to go straight to new document. On the top, we've got our general editing tools. We'll have a look at those at another point in the set of lessons. On the left, we've got some tools for drawing different types of shapes, and on the right hand side we can really go into detail with these shapes and choose different colors and different outlines, and we can really edit how those shapes appear. Rather than having to go over to this side each time and click these buttons, if you remember the shortcuts such as S for selecting, R for rectangles and E for ellipses, you can very easily on the paper just type the button on the keyboard and it will give you the different shapes ready for you to draw. Right, I'm ready to create my first image, and I'm going to make one of a robot. In order to do that, I'm going to press the R button, and you'll notice that on the right I've got different options here. It's worth setting these before you draw your shapes. I've got my objects here, there's only one at the moment. I've got my fills and my strokes. These are the outlines and the inside colours of the shape. I'm going to draw one shape now, a leg of the robot, and I'm going to change the fill to a grey colour, that's the lightness. Alter the saturation if I want, that's how much colour we want in the object. We can also alter the hue of the object as well. So I want it to be grey, so not much saturation. And I don't want it to be see-through, so I want all the alpha. we'll go to low alpha. It makes the object completely see-through, which is not the same as white. Let's go to stroke. I would like a solid outline, so I've got that set to dark. Notice if I set it to another colour, probably just about see that there's a different colour around the outside that I'm not happy with. So I'm selecting the picture again, and I don't want very much colour in it. I'd like it to be a solid black. There we go. Right, at this point, once I've done it once, it will remember my settings. If I press the R button, it will then allow me to repeatedly draw similar shapes. So another leg, another body, one body, and a head. At this point, I might want to draw some eyes, so press the E button, or an eye at the side for now. Press the S button or click on this. Let's change the fill colour to white, and then drag it over, click and drag it over to where I want it. Now, rather than creating that same shape again, I'm going to right hand click and go to duplicate or Control and D, and it's right on top the duplicate of the original ellipse. So if I drag it over, I've got now two eyes. If I press Control and D again, or right hand click and go to D, another one, I'm just going to stretch that one out. There we go. A quick robot. I could quickly give him some arms as well. Control and D, duplicate it. Now if I keep clicking on the shape, get different options. There we go. Click on it again to scale it, make it a little bit larger. Let's Control and D again. Move it over on this side, and I'm going to start playing with some of these tools at the top here. Click on this one to flip it horizontally. There we go, got a very basic robot. You have a go, see what you can come up with. If at any point you lose this menu on the right, if you right and click on a shape and go to layers and objects or fill and stroke, it will appear back up. There's a way to get anything that goes missing back on this program. Have a go. Thanks for watching, and please share all the creations that you've made with me. I love seeing what you come up with. Bye.